Okay, now we're going to get into scripting. Scripting is the programming language that you're going to use within the Unity application. This is a basic class, so I'm not going to dive really deep into the scripting aspect. You'll learn more when you take the VGD 171 and the VGD 172. What I can tell you is that the Unity documentation under scripting supplies some great information. If you want to learn more about the Unity scripting, I highly suggest you check this out, because you'll learn about the variables and the functions and the events that need to happen in order to make objects and characters move about within the game. For now, I've supplied the scripts in the document. You will select here and you will be taken to a website, and you can download a compressed file which you need to unzip. If you don't know how to unzip things, you need to contact me or find out, do a Google search. And you can save those and then do what I did and drag and drop the scripts into a scripts folder. I created a scripts folder, dragged the two scripts within. Now I opened up one of these scripts so we could take a look at it. And you can see that we have some namespaces here, and what this does, this using, is it calls the Unity engine and all the collections, and it's going to look at the UI. So it's looking at this stuff, it's looking for it, it's going to find it. Then we have a few variables. A private variable means that it's only called for in this particular script. Only this script will call that private variable. Public variables are things that you'll edit within the inspector window, and it makes it easier to change components and to edit. And you'll find out more on that when we add the script. When you have a void start, the start is anything when the game is initially started. That happens, and it only happens then. When you go into the update, that means things are going to happen every frame per second. So let's just say you have a 30 frame per second game. Every 30 frames, every second, every 30 frames per second, it'll run through this update system and read everything and continue to find stuff. So we have our scripts, and please note that these are saved. There's no little circle up here, so I don't need to save them. And we'll go into our game. So we need to add the rotator to the coin, because our objective is to, let me go ahead and select play and see where I'm at here. Our objective is to have this coin rotate around. So we are going to go to our prefabs. Remember, we made the coin a prefab. Select our prefab coin, add a component to that prefab, a script, and we have our script, so let's add our rotator script to the coin. And select play and see what happens. Ooh, it's rotating. How cool is that? How cool, how simple. Look at that. Makes it come alive. Alright, so next we have the second script, which is the player script. And the player script is actually going to be dragged to the third person controller. So we could click and drag it, or you could do the same thing we did before, was add component. I'm going to click and drag just so we can see how that works. So player, click and drag to the third person in the hierarchy. But get this, remember we had those public variables, the count text and the win text? We have to add those components here. You can select the radio option, count as a score. I double clicked. or you can find the when option and click and drag it in. Both ways work, selecting the radio or click and dragging. Now those things will be called upon in our game and we're ready to go. We just need to add a few small things and this game is good to go.